Sosuke Aizen is one of anime's most iconic villains and a master manipulator. He's initially introduced as the kind-hearted, soft-spoken captain of the 5th Division in Bleach, which makes his later actions all the more shocking. Aizen's first major manipulative feat happens when he stages his own dramatic death. By using his sword, Kyoka Suigetsu, which grants him the ability to hypnotize anyone who looks at it, Aizen causes chaos within Soul Society, making it appear as though he had been killed by a traitor. This deception works perfectly, as it creates a rift and distrust among other captains, allowing Aizen to continue his plans in secrecy. Once Aizen is thought to be dead, he moves forward with his true agenda. He murders the entire Central 46, the governing body of Soul Society, and takes their place. Posing as them, he orders the execution of Rukia Kuchiki in order to extract the powerful Hogyoku, a mysterious and powerful object hidden within her body. Though Rukia's execution doesn't go as planned, Aizen still manages to use his own abilities to extract the Hogyoku and escapes, now with even more power. Aizen's next move was to gather a group of powerful Arankar, hollows who are transformed into humanoid with Shinigami-like powers under his control. He convinces them that they're fighting for freedom, using their desire for liberation to manipulate them into serving his greater goal. However, Aizen never cared about their cause. To him, they were just tools to further his own plans. His manipulation of those around him extends even further, especially when he manipulates Ichigo Kurosaki's life. In an insane twist, Aizen reveals that he orchestrated much of Ichigo's life from the very beginning. He created the Hollow that attacked Ichigo's mother, causing part of the Hollow's essence to reside within her. This part of the Hollow later manifests within Ichigo. He also ensured that Rukia, who was sent to the human world, would transfer her Shinigami powers to Ichigo. Aizen's infamous line, "You see, Ichigo, all the battles you've fought up until now have simply been a part of my plan," sums up his manipulative nature perfectly. Ichigo's struggles, growth, and battles were all set into motion by Aizen as part of his greater design. Aizen's manipulations don't stop there. Hundreds of years before the main event, he conducted experiments on high-ranking Shinigami, turning them into hollows. After this, he blamed Kisuke Urahara for the failure of his experiments, using this as a cover to have Urahara exiled from Soul Society. This manipulation not only removed a potential threat to Aizen's plans, but also helped him gain more control. Through his calculated actions, Aizen demonstrates his superiority over most characters in the series. His ability to manipulate not just individuals, but entire organizations is what cements him as one of the most iconic anime manipulators. His actions are a testament to the depth of his intellect and his complete lack of empathy, making him one of the most dangerous villains in anime. Lelouch v. Britannia, the exiled prince of the Britannian Empire, seeks revenge for the wrongs done to his family. With the power of Geas, allowing him to command everyone to obey his orders, Lelouch manipulates entire nations while maintaining an air of innocence and charm. One of his earliest manipulative acts comes when he uses the Geas to force the Black Knights, a terrorist group, to follow him. Presenting himself as the masked figure Zero, Lelouch turns them into a symbol of rebellion against Britannia. He manipulates their hopes for freedom, using their trust to further his own ambitions while keeping his true identity hidden. Lelouch's manipulation extends to his family, particularly his sister Nunnally. He strategically turns her into a symbol of innocence and vulnerability, rallying support for his cause. His relationship with his best friend, Suzaku, is one of the most complex manipulations. Lelouch exploits Suzaku's sense of honor and justice, often forcing him into situations that pit their beliefs against each other, using guilt to push him towards actions that benefit his larger plan. Another key aspect of Lelouch's manipulation is controlling public perception. He carefully crafts the image of Zero, ensuring that his rebellion is seen as heroic despite its violent actions. By manipulating the media, Lelouch becomes a symbol of hope, gaining widespread support for his cause. One of Lelouch's most chilling manipulations is orchestrating the death of his father, Emperor Charles Z. Britannia. He manipulates events so that his father's death is seen as a necessary sacrifice for the greater good. By taking the throne, Lelouch ensures that his vision of a new world can be realized without opposition, while maintaining the illusion of acting for a noble cause. Lelouch's ultimate manipulation comes in the series finale, when he sacrifices himself to bring about world peace. By becoming the ultimate villain in the eyes of the world, he forces humanity to unite against him, ensuring that his vision will live on after his death. Lelouch's strategic brilliance and manipulation solidify his place as one of anime's most brilliant and dangerous characters. Johan Liebert is a cold, calculating villain and monster, known for his unmatched psychological manipulation and twisted view of humanity. Born to a troubled family, Johan orchestrates a series of tragic events from an early age. At Kinderheim 511, an experimental orphanage, Johan incited a massacre by pitting the staff and children against each other, exploiting their fears and desires. This event laid the foundation of his ideology, the fragility of human morality, and how easily it can be shattered. One of Johan's most infamous feats is the destruction of the Liebert family. After being adopted, Johan orchestrated the deaths of his foster parents by subtly influencing them to turn on one another. This left Johan and his twin sister Anna as the only survivors. Johan's manipulations didn't stop there. He convinced Anna to shoot him as part of his grand experiment on despair and the human condition. Though Johan survived, this act scarred Anna, and he later used her suppressed memories to control her. Johan's ability to drive others to destruction is unmatched. One chilling method is inducing suicide by dismantling his victims' psyches until they choose death themselves. He manipulated former detective Richard Braun, exploiting his guilt over a past case and subtly pushing him to end his life. Similarly, Johan's influence spread through everyone he encountered, turning them into pawns in his nihilistic vision. In adulthood, Johan infiltrated society's upper echelons, using his charisma and intellect to manipulate influential figures. He manipulated Karl Neumann's desire to reconnect with his estranged father, Hans-Georg Schuwald, as a means to infiltrate the Schuwald family and nearly orchestrate their demise. This exemplifies Johan's emotionless, calculated approach to achieving his goals. Johan's most horrifying accomplishment is the Ruhenheim massacre. He planted seeds of paranoia in the quiet town, triggering a chain of violence where neighbors turned on each other, leading to an apocalyptic bloodbath. This event wasn't driven by personal gain, but by Johan's belief in humanity's inherent chaos. Johan's ultimate plan, the perfect suicide, solidifies his obsession with control. He sought to create a scenario where Dr. Kenzo Tenma, the man who saved him, would be forced to kill him, leaving Tenma to carry the burden of his actions. Johan's manipulations cement his legacy as one of anime's most terrifying villains. Light Yagami is a brilliant high school student with a deep sense of justice who discovers the Death Note, a supernatural notebook that allows him to kill anyone whose name he writes in it. Initially, Light's intention is to rid the world of criminals, but a sense of justice soon morphs into a god complex, where he believes only he should decide on who lives and who dies. What makes Light so dangerous is his exceptional ability to manipulate those around him, using his intelligence, charm, and charisma to stay steps ahead of everyone, even the world's greatest detective, L. Light's first act of manipulation occurs when he begins using the Death Note to eliminate criminals, presenting himself as the mysterious figure Kira. His actions quickly spark widespread support, particularly from people who view Kira as a savior bringing justice to the corrupt world. Light expertly controls public perception, carefully crafting the image of a righteous vigilante, while in reality, he's manipulating the masses to worship him as a god. His moral compass becomes increasingly twisted as the killings mount, and his desire to purify the world turns into a thirst for absolute power. Light's manipulation extends to his family. He maintains the perfect image of a devoted son, keeping his true nature hidden from his parents, Soichiro and Sachiko, and his younger sister Sayu. His mother's tragic death, caused by a Kira supporter, only strengthens his resolve to pursue his vision of a new world, but Light cleverly uses her death to manipulate others, positioning himself as an innocent victim. Meanwhile, he exploits the devotion of Misa Amane, a famous idol and Kira supporter, manipulating her love and obsession for him. Light convinces Misa to help him track down L's investigation, taking advantage of her feelings and forcing her to do his bidding. One of Light's most ingenious manipulations was his long-standing battle with L, the world-renowned detective. Light infiltrates the task force as an ally to L, winning his trust while secretly working against him. Light uses misdirection and psychological warfare to outsmart L, keeping his identity hidden despite mounting suspicion. Through this game of cat and mouse, Light always stays one step ahead, manipulating the people around him to stay out of L's reach. As the series progresses, Light's manipulations grow even more complex. He orchestrates L's death, removing his greatest threat and positioning himself as the uncontested ruler of the world. His ultimate manipulation occurs when he engineers a scenario in which he can pass the death note to another, ensuring that his plans live on long after his death. However, Light's desire for power ultimately leads to his downfall, as his manipulations alienate those who once supported him and his reign of terror crumbles. Despite his tragic end, Light's legacy as one of the most manipulative characters in anime is undeniable. His true power was never the Death Note, but his unrivaled ability to manipulate everyone around him, shaping the world in his own image. Kiyotaka Ayanokoji is a highly intelligent but emotionally detached student at the prestigious Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing High School. Known for his calm demeanor and unremarkable appearance, Ayanokoji hides his true nature as a master manipulator. Raised in the brutal White Room, a facility designed to cultivate the perfect human being, he was shaped into someone capable of outthinking and outmaneuvering anyone in his path. Ayanokoji's first act of manipulation occurs during the entrance exams, when he downplays his intelligence, presenting himself as an average student. By avoiding attention, he ensures that he blends in with his classmates and can quietly observe the school's internal dynamics. As the competition between the classes intensifies, he remains a passive participant on the surface, using his superior intellect to manipulate events behind the scenes. A prime example is when he uses the special exam involving Class 1D's test results to strategically ensure that his class does not fall behind, even though his involvement remains unnoticed. Ayanokoji's manipulations of his classmates like Suzune Horikita and Kikyo Kushida is central to his success. He exploits their weaknesses to control them, subtly pushing them into positions where they unknowingly do his bidding. In the case of Horikita, Ayanokoji strategically supports her to help her gain leadership experience while positioning her to remain a pawn in his larger plan. He plays on her desire to improve her class's status while ensuring that she remains dependent on his guidance, creating a sense of mutual trust without her realizing how deeply she's being manipulated. Similarly, he uses Kushida's need for social approval to subtly control her actions, pushing her to assist in securing the class's position in the competition. One of Ayanokoji's most significant manipulations comes when he engineers the expulsion game. During this event, he manipulates Ryu and Kakeru into believing he has the upper hand, forcing him into a trap while ensuring his own position remains safe. By subtly pushing Ryuen to act in a way that isolates his own supporters, Ayanokoji secures his class's survival in the game without directly engaging in the conflict. Ayanokoji's lack of personal ambition further sets him apart from other manipulators, as he doesn't seek power, but instead wants to test human nature. His detachment allows him to push his classmates to their limits, observing how far they will go to protect themselves. Ultimately, Ayanokoji's manipulative nature makes him one of the most calculating and enigmatic characters in anime. His emotional detachment, combined with his unparalleled ability to read and control those around him, solidifies his reputation as a master manipulator. Through every calculated move, Ayanokoji remained several steps ahead, further cementing his place as an elusive and terrifying presence in the world of anime. Yuichi Katagiri is a calm and calculating individual who appears unassuming on the surface, but beneath his exterior lies a master manipulator. Introduced as a seemingly trustworthy and friendly student in Tomodachi Game, Yuichi's true nature is slowly revealed as the series unfolds. Raised in a world where trust is a rare commodity, Yuichi learned to navigate human relationships with a calculating eye, constantly analyzing and manipulating those around him for his own benefit. Yuichi's first act of manipulation begins when he enters the Tomodachi Game, where he cultivates an image of being an honest and dependable friend. He lies about his financial situation to gain his classmates' trust, creating a facade of camaraderie. He cleverly masks his intelligence and strategic thinking, blending in with his peers and remaining in the background. This allows him to stay out of the spotlight, giving him the freedom to observe the dynamics within the game and plan his next moves without drawing attention. His calm demeanor and kind nature make him the perfect candidate to gain the trust of others, setting the stage for his future manipulations. As the game progresses, Yuichi shows his brilliance in orchestrating events from behind the scenes. He manipulates the other participants into trusting him, using their emotions and desires to control their decisions. For example, he exploits Tenji's desire to protect his friends, leading Tenji to act against his own interests. Yuichi creates doubt and confusion, ensuring that he remains the one pulling the strings. His ability to turn situations to his advantage is what makes him so dangerous and so difficult to predict. One of Yuichi's most impressive manipulations is exploiting his friends' vulnerabilities. He uses their insecurities to subtly nudge them towards actions that benefit his greater goals. By playing on Kei's emotional attachment and fear of abandonment, he gains even more control over her. Yuichi's understanding of human nature allows him to keep others in line while maintaining his facade as a concerned and supportive friend, setting himself up for eventual dominance in the game. What makes Yuichi unsettling is his lack of a clear personal agenda. Unlike others who seek power, Yuichi manipulates for amusement and to test human nature. His cold detachment and ability to outmaneuver everyone else make him a true puppet master, but his reliance on manipulation isolates him from meaningful connections. Ultimately, Yuichi's actions solidify his reputation as a calculating and enigmatic figure, always one step ahead. Makima is a central antagonist in Chainsaw Man, known for her alluring and manipulative nature, which allows her to control those around her while maintaining a calm and kind facade. She's introduced as a high-ranking officer in the Public Safety Bureau, where she quickly establishes herself as a powerful figure who manipulates Denji and others to serve her goals. Makima's manipulative nature is evident from the very beginning. She plays on Denji's desires for a better life, offering him the opportunity to live comfortably in exchange for his loyalty and cooperation in hunting devils. However, she has a hidden agenda, and her manipulation extends far beyond simple promises. Makima controls Denji through emotional and psychological manipulation, gradually turning him into her pawn. She uses his desire for affection and approval to shape his actions, leading him to perform tasks that align with her larger secret goals. As the series advances, it becomes clear that Makima is not just a government official. She is the Control Devil, a powerful and dangerous entity whose primary objective is to dominate the world and control all devils. Her ultimate ambition is to create a world where she is the supreme ruler, manipulating every living being. Makima's ability to control others is vast, and she uses her power to influence everyone around her, including other devil hunters, the public, and even Denji himself. The plot twist comes when Makima's true nature is finally revealed. She's been orchestrating events from behind the scenes, using Denji and others as mere tools to achieve her ultimate goal of world domination. However, Denji's defiance and actions in the final confrontation expose Makima's weaknesses. In a shocking turn, Denji outsmarts and ultimately defeats her, symbolizing the unpredictable nature of human will. Her death serves as both a personal victory for Denji and a larger commentary on the dangers of unchecked ambition and the quest for absolute control. Makima's fall is a reminder that even the most calculating and manipulative individuals can be undone by forces beyond their control. Through her complex character arc, she stands as one of anime's most memorable and chilling antagonists. Griffith's rise from a lowly background to becoming a feared and revered leader in Berserk showcases his exceptional manipulation skills. Born in a harsh world, Griffith formed the Band of the Falcon, a mercenary group, and quickly became known for his charisma, strategic brilliance, and unyielding ambition to rule. His ability to manipulate people, particularly those closest to him, is key to his success. From the beginning, Griffith displays an uncanny ability to make people feel as though they owe him their loyalty. His first target was Guts, a wandering swordsman, whom he recruits by offering a sense of belonging and purpose. Griffith appeals to Guts' vulnerabilities, ensuring his loyalty by becoming a surrogate brother. Another notable example is his manipulation of Casca, whose devotion to Griffith is used to keep the Band of the Falcon united and loyal to him. Griffith's manipulation extends beyond his personal circle. On the battlefield, his victories allow him to gain the admiration of the people and the political elite, which he uses to secure his place in Midland's royal court. He convinces the king and others that his loyalty is to the kingdom, while secretly plotting to claim the throne for himself. Griffith's relationship with Princess Charlotte is another example of his manipulation, as he uses her affections to further his political agenda. However, Griffith's most significant manipulation occurs during the Eclipse. After being imprisoned and tortured for a year, he sacrifices the entire Band of the Falcon to the God Hand, gaining unimaginable power. This betrayal of those who loved and followed him, including Guts, reveals the true extent of his ambition. Griffith uses the Eclipse to not only achieve godlike status, but to solidify his control over the people who worship him, turning their sacrifice into a means to further his vision of a perfect world. Griffith's manipulative genius lies in his ability to control hearts and minds, making others believe in his destiny and justifying his actions as part of his greater purpose. His rise to power, built on deception and emotional manipulation, makes him one of the most compelling and tragic figures in Berserk.